I'll be feminine when I meet a masculine man. No, just be feminine. You see what I'm saying? We need to move away from the narrative that when I meet a masculine man, I'll be a feminine woman. No, you won't. Because you don't know how to be that person. Learn to be a feminine woman in your own womanhood without an outside force, without nothing. Just be a woman in yourself, not contingent on I meet this guy, so now I know how to be a woman. I promise you, when you walk in your woman energy and your femininity, the right man comes to you because he's attracted to that energy. He's not waiting on that. And I think that's the part I always have a problem with this conversation. And the thing is, it doesn't happen overnight like that. It just doesn't work that way because you're thinking when I meet the right guy, right, I'm going to be that person. But if you just build in that all the time, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you know how to be that person. Because what ends up happening to those women, right, they meet that masculine man, right, and then they start to be with them, but they're triggered because they don't have the skill to be feminine. So something that's just a boundary, something that you could have easily had a conversation and say, you know what, I really don't care for that, and I would appreciate if you just didn't do it that way. They're like, because they don't have a skill. Do you see?
I've heard a lot of women complaining lately about how there's no real men left, and as somebody who actually managed to capture a real man that I will be quite frank, I did not deserve at the time that I found him, I just want to throw out there, like, real men still exist. The problem is that we're not attracting them for specific reasons. And let me point out a couple of those things that might be preventing you from attracting a real man. First and foremost, real men are not interested in women who are spending all of their time on social media, half naked, dancing around for everybody and their brother to see, because real men value real women, and real women used to be classy and to themselves and modest, and it was a prize to be with a woman who was untouchable. For the same reason that you don't want your man out there having been with everybody, and like, it's embarrassing. For ladies, it's embarrassing when your man follows half-naked women on Instagram, right? Why would you want to be that half-naked chick? You don't. You don't, because it's going to give you the wrong kind of attention. And despite the fact that some of y'all are using it to pay your bills, and that's, you do what you got to do, I'm just letting you know that it's not going to attract the kind of man that you are hoping to attract. So put that in your head first and foremost. Also note that real men work really hard because they're trying to get somewhere. They're trying to achieve something. They're not going to be comfortable with you not holding a job, with you working a part-time barista job and calling that sufficient. They're not going to be comfortable with you being complacent. They're going to expect you to have some drive and some willpower and to have some desire of your own to achieve something, because otherwise, what are they building with you? They're building it all for nothing so that they can give it to a woman who is doing nothing but taking. So offer something to the relationship. If you're looking for somebody who is actually worth a damn, you have to be worth a damn.
People on the internet will find any reason to say that your man don't like you or that your relationship is miserable and you should leave him. You could be like, OMG, my man left his coffee cup in the sink this morning and it irritated me. They're going to be in the comments like, it's because he thinks you're his servant. He doesn't like you. He actually hates you. And he's probably cheating on you with somebody that works at Starbucks. Could be like, I have to pay my rent this month because my man got hurt at work because he broke his leg and now he can't work, so I have to be the one to pay the rent, right? It's gonna be like, he probably hurt his leg on purpose because you're a black woman and they don't think that you guys deserve to be provided for. He hates you and he's trying to make you leave him. Like, my man don't like to kiss me when I got lip gloss on right now. I know that. So I might make a video, right? I might be like, babe, give me a kiss, fucking with him, knowing he not gonna want to kiss me with all this lip gloss on. And he gonna be like, right? And then here go the people on the internet. Oh my God, he hates you. The silence is so loud. Girl, you need to leave him. He cannot stand you. Be like, my man went out with his boys last night, right? Gonna be like, oh my God, he hates hanging out with you. You make him miserable. And his friends is probably all cheaters and they're probably out cheating on you right now. And that's why I limit the shit I post about my relationship.
I'm about to put some women on game and tell you something that you may have never heard. A woman's value lies in the intangible things, where a man's value lies in the tangible things. What do I mean by this? Men are providers, protectors, and professors, meaning Everything that they do is more physical. The money, the protecting, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all of that stuff. Whereas women are the nurturers. So where a woman's value lies is, how does she make her man feel? Does she uplift him with his words? Can he trust her? Is she loyal? Does she support his dreams? Does she take care of his legacy? Meaning, if he gives her a home, how does she nourish it and steward it? Women are the warmth to a man's life. A man can have a house and it can feel a little cold. When a woman comes in, she decorates it, she makes it more homey and feels good. So a woman's value lies in the feeling she brings to a man, where a man is more of the physical aspect. That's why a lot of men will tell you with money that they don't care about your money, and they don't care about your degrees, and they don't care about all of that stuff. Now, some men don't mind an ambitious woman. So just because you have those things doesn't mean that you're less valuable. But what I'm saying is, that's not where your value lies. So if you are a woman who is solid, who is respectful, she knows how to talk to her man, she can uplift her man with her words, she can support his dreams, she does not tear him down, she creates a safe space where he can be vulnerable and lay his armor at the door. If she's not going to use his weaknesses against him, if she's going to steward what he gives her well, then you are rare and you are a valuable woman. So if you are that type of woman, understand that your standards need to be up here, because we don't know what our value is as women, so we settle for the stuff down here when you should be really aiming for the stuff up here, because every woman isn't like you. These are earthly values that you get from you and God. God's value is more important than all of this combined, but just speaking of physical, worldly value.
If a woman tells you she's the problem, believe her. Whenever I hear a woman say, "I don't know if you can handle me," I wouldn't handle it. The package is broken. When she's proud to say, "I'm toxic," you realize women say that because women just want to justify her ridiculousness and or over-the-top behavior if you're stupid and not heed that upfront warning. And when they say like, "Well, if you don't like my attitude, then don't be with me." Girl, are you crazy? You know dang well that will not slide with a man that got some self-respect and common sense. When they say, "I'm crazy," run. You should love me for who I am. Absolutely not. If you love someone, you call them out on the BS that they do, the flaws that they have, and you leave an option for growth. If you allow someone that you love to continue to live in bad habits, it's not love. I don't call that love. Most of these things either show that they had a really bad history of relationships, or they're setting the tone for when they do mess up, which is what they had planned to do from the beginning. But instead of apologizing, you've now allowed them to hurt you, to only come back and say, "I told you I was toxic. I told you I was like this." It's just who I am. There's no accountability, no self-awareness, and they're so far gone, they don't even want to change.
Don't mess around and lose a good man because you're a toddler in your emotions. And practical advice that I would give to just growing in your emotional maturity, stability, right? Being grounded emotionally. It's like, just as much as you fight to be cute, to be a boss chick, fight to be a peacemaker. Fight to be a person that can go in a room and stabilize it. Fight to be the nurturer that you are. You're a nurturer. And that's something that, even though I believe that we're created to be that way, it's still something you have to wake up and be intentional about. So practically going out of your way, reading those books, watching those YouTubes. I remember a moment that I had with my husband, and we were in the house, and I could see in his eyes, I'm like, oh, he's about to leave me. Like, he's gone. He's tired of me emasculating him. He's tired of my inability to just shut up, hear his point, and not cut him off. And when I saw that look in his eyes, I said, wait a minute. It's a woman that will hop over me to get to you. Let me get this together. And so practically just literally getting up and, okay, why am I this way? Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw my mama do this. Okay, let me break this generational thing. Let me get my prayer back. Let me start watching some YouTube, some older women that went through this. How did they navigate being able to grow in their emotions? And so practically, like, just be aggressive about your emotional maturity.
For instance, like my soon-to-be husband, like, he treats me well, he respects me, I don't have to ask for anything, but at the same time, I also do what I'm supposed to do with a woman. I cook, I clean, I suck, I fuck, I shut the fuck up. So I know how to keep my man. But it's all
being Delulu. Just be interested. I heard this man say, women like you from 100 and work backwards, while men like you from 0 and work their way up. When I say ever since I applied this logic, my dating life has been so much easier. You want to know why? Ask a man if he likes a woman and he just started talking to her. You know what he'll say? Oh, she's cool. She's cute. You know, she cool. But I don't really know her. Ask a woman if she likes a man she just met. Oh my God, he's so fine. He's so sweet. And I know he's sweet because I seen on his story that he's such and such and such and such. And that he got his mother these flowers. And that he's such a caring guy. All these assumptions about a man that she doesn't know. This is the real problem. When you start from 100 and you're subtracting points based on qualities that man never even had. He not this, he not that. Sis, he was never any of those things. Never. And had you taken the time to get to know him beforehand, you would have realized he was never a 100. He was more like a 25. So now you telling all your friends, girl, he not even, he was never. And this is exactly why it's easier for men sometimes to walk away, because they don't fall in love off your pictures. They don't fall in love because y'all talked on the phone one time. They don't fall in love because y'all sent some cute text messages the first 2 days. Some of them do. But majority of men, they're logically looking at you before they fall in love with you. So now, if I see a man and I'm kind of interested, that's exactly what I am. I'm kind of interested because I don't know that man. And neither do you. And I know it's hard because the girls love being delusional. But babies, we getting older. It's just time to be realistic. Start thinking logically. It's not even thinking like a man. Think logically. You don't know him.
The more successful you are as a woman, the harder it will be for you to date. I did not quite understand that statement until I got back into the dating scene. I started to meet guys and I realized that once I started to talk about my profession, my achievements, the things that I was doing, I realized that one of three things would happen. They would try to tap into my network to see how it could benefit them and get them higher up to where they wanted to go. Or two, they would get docile in a sense of like feeling like they're not good enough. Or three, they were like, how can I use this to my benefit? AKA the Dusties that just want some money. It got to the point where I did not want to exchange any social media. I did not want to talk about my profession. And then I started to realize why people would say, do not lead with your accomplishments. One, a lot of men just don't even care. And then the ones that really do care, sometimes has an underlying reasoning. Now, this is not all men, it's just some men. And then when you think about the other side of it, yes, of course, like a lot of successful women want someone that is at least on their level or above them. And the higher up that you get with the men that are on your level and up, the more quote unquote competition that it is. It wasn't until I learned about femininity and hypergamy that things started to change. And that's really why I started this TikTok, because women don't realize just how much power femininity and hypergamy actually has, especially if you know how to tap into that dark feminine energy as well. Leading with your accomplishments becomes a thing of the past, and you tap into that feminine receiving energy where you're just going out, having a good time, looking good, smelling good, having a great personality, and you're just enjoying yourself. And I quickly realized that when I tapped out of that and just tapped into my natural receiving feminine energy, that is what made men want to give even more. And even better, I started to attract the guys that were natural providers. I did not have to explain hypergamy to them. They just got it, they loved it, and they loved that I was in my feminine.